All right, good to see all of you as usual. And it is 6 o'clock. And no admit button unless they're on the approved list, Grace, okay? Unless they're on the approved list. Congratulations to all of you for being here. I want to replay this video. And of course, y'all see my beautiful family up on the camera. This is the first real day that the Pathbender begins. And we have so much to talk about. We will be in retraining your subconscious mind for months. Hopefully not that long. And then we'll go to Urantia, and then we will go to Law of One. In the meantime, please listen and get ready to talk. This is a very open conversation. Let me just tell my kids that is cussing on this call, that is drinking on this call, and some may even smoke if that's what they choose to do. Very relaxed environment. Let's roll.
Very simple understanding. If you go to an Apple store and you buy an iPod and you take it out of the store and you push play on the iPod, nothing plays. And then you're now upset about the fact you just spent all this money and your iPod doesn't work. And then some little 7-year-old kid next to you looks up and goes, hey, mister, unless you download something first, it will not work. The idea is exactly the same. The mind has a conscious creative mind, but a subconscious program mind. The conscious mind does not go into full operation until after age 7. The first 7 years, the mind is in a lower vibrational state called theta. And this is when you can read this by putting wires on a person's head, EEG. The relevance of theta is that it represents imagination, which is what kids under 7 live in. Half the world is imagination. The mother says, give me the broom. The child says, I don't know what you're talking about. This is a horse. So to the child, the broom in the imagination state of theta actually is the horse. So theta is imagination. More important, theta is hypnosis. The relevance about that is, if you think of all the rules an individual must learn to become a functional member of a family and a community, thousands of rules. I said, well, how do you teach an infant thousands of rules? And the idea is, well, you can't give them a book, and you can't teach them in a school. So basically, what we have to understand is this. Nature created the first 7 years of download hypnosis to observe other people, the parents, the siblings, and the community. Observe their behavior and directly download their behavior as the foundational download of behavior. Once a child is becoming conscious, which is around age 7, the conscious mind will use that programming to maneuver in the world. The most important part is this. We have to recognize that this is a program. And number 2 is that most of the programming psychologists have revealed is negative and disempowering. And number 3 is that we are capable of changing the program. And once you understand that, then you are free to rewrite the story of your life. But if you don't do that, your life has been programmed. And this is not anything new. For 400 years, the Jesuits have said, give me a child until it's 7 and I will show you the man. What people didn't understand they were saying is, if I get the program the first 7 years, I will determine the outcome of that individual's life. Now, that sounds like, oh, that's an interesting fact. I go, it's a fact that has never been lost in 400 years. And in fact, today we're being programmed much more effectively than the Jesuits were programming 400 years ago. The hardest part about the programming is it occurs before your mind actually enters into consciousness, which is alpha vibration. So the first 7 years you're downloading. And you've been downloading since actually before you were born in the last trimester of pregnancy. So the question becomes very seriously, what are my programs? And then why it becomes a question is you are not even conscious when the programs are downloaded. So you say, well, I don't know what my programs are. I don't know what I learned when I was 1 year old. So the exciting part about it is that science has recognized that 95% of our life comes from subconscious programs. So a simple truth is this: you look at your life and it is a printout of your programs. So it's simple. You don't have to know who said what, who did what. That's blaming the messenger over the message. The message is, what did you learn? Program. And I say, yeah, but the program is what you're playing 95% of the time. So therefore, look at your life, and it comes down to simple. And it goes like this: the things that you like that come into your life come in because you have programs to accept those. The other part, though, is anything that you work hard at, struggle over, sweat over, what you put a lot of effort into. Question: why are you working so hard to make these things manifest? The answer inevitably is your programs in your subconscious do not support that end. So the simple point is, you want to know your programming? Look at your life. As I said, the things you like that come are there because you have programs to support them. But in contrast, anything you must work at, anything you have to put effort into to manifest in your life, the amount of work you're putting in is really to compensate for the fact that you have a program that doesn't support that and you're trying to override it.
All right. That is the class, and two of you, luckily, if you wasn't on that approved list, you got lucky, because I thought you was. On my mama, you ain't getting in next week. Aristotle is a student of Plato, and Plato is considered one of the fathers of philosophy. Athens, Greece was the philosophical center of the world, still is today. Your idea of philosophy comes from Athens. Most of your Christian thinking comes from Socrates, whether you know it or not. Your idea of Platonic relationships comes from Plato, who recorded Socrates saying that Tracy and I are souls, and our souls don't need a physical connection to fall in love with one another. Therefore, we are Platonic, not by the physical interaction, but Platonic in we can be friends without intimacy, or at least the intimacy that you all know of. That being said, oh, my God, and get your cameras on as soon as you can. That being said, there is a word that Aristotle said in his writings called telos. Telos is a Greek word that means end, but that's a transliteration. We need to put some meaning on that word. End in this case can be translated into supreme destiny, your end goal. Please write this down. Your end goal. Aristotle said, whatever you're doing, you need a telos. We get the idea of having an end goal, a seeing how the end is going to be, from Aristotle. Please keep in mind, Jamal, this is 427 BC. Socrates in Greek was walking the earth in 453 BC. Aristotle and Plato are his students. Plato is a student. Aristotle is a student of Plato. Aristotle understands this idea of an end goal, an end game. If you are struggling, your subconscious does not support your current telos. How long did that take me, Phil? Was that 2.5 minutes? If it wasn't 2.5, it was 2 minutes and 45 seconds. There's the point of the class. Now don't worry about it. She's 6. It's okay. Hear me well. Hear me well. Aristotle understood 3 virtues. That's what he calls them. And one of these virtues is this idea of a telos. I would tell you the other two, but they're not relevant for this conversation. But you get people like Nietzsche and Sigmund Freud and Antonio Smith, who take these antiquity and Greek philosophical thoughts. Antiquity would be Roman ages. And we run with these things, Chef Jay. We understand these things. And we have more philosophical thought than most people because we have this deeply rooted understanding of these ideas. And your subconscious cannot support your end goal if you are struggling. Okay, that was another 2.5 minutes. I'm gonna do it again. Melissa, what I'm saying, as you all, I know Melissa's driving. I have no idea what Talisha's doing, but your camera's off is a violation. Your idea here is your end goal, your prayers, your thoughts, your dreams, your affirmations are Aristotle's telos. Stop. Everybody, pay attention. From everybody in front of me, for all of you on the internets and TV land with my three sons. Was it my three sons or my three dads? My three dads.
My three sons.
My three sons.
My two dads. So, yeah.
There you go. With Patty Duke and I Love Lucy and with Alfalfa, whatever, I can't remember the name of that show. And what's the bad kid down the street who wasn't really bad? Rascals. What was the
Dennis
bad
the
kid?
Menace.
Dennis the Menace. Thank you
Dennis
so
the Menace.
much.
Come on, Nick and Knight.
Okay. All right. That's right. There's all this stuff in Nick and Knight. Dennis the Menace. And what was the two people on the piano? This was color. Now, I'd say all those are black and white, but this was color. They sang Archie. Yep. Archie. And what was the old lady? She was a sassy grandma. That was like my favorite show. She was a sassy grandma.
Mama's Family.
Mama's Family.
Yes.
You better talk to Molly. Mama's Family was my favorite show.
Yes.
Gosh darn it. She was a clown.
Vicky,
All of you
I forgot
folk. All of you folk in Mama's, Green Acres. All of you folk in Green Acres land, you're struggling means your current subconscious cannot handle your desires. This needs to be taken super seriously, extremely seriously. If you want more money, my kids want V-Bucks. They can get V-Bucks when their current subconscious about what their father can provide changes, they will get more V-Bucks. Do you get it? Hear me well. I know you want a vacation, but the mere fact that you want a vacation, that you save up for a vacation, and that you only get to take a vacation when someone tells you to, when you have vacation hours, and then you put a certain amount of hours in family with FMLA, whatever that stands for. When you do all of that stuff, your subconscious says, I'm not allowed to take a vacation unless I jump to 1,000 hoops. And then your ego says, I'm not a hoop jumper. Therefore, you never save money to go on vacation because your subconscious can't handle someone telling you, I'm gonna jump through hoops. This time we're going to go a fourth time, something I rarely do. Antonio, whenever I say Antonio, I'm really saying you. I'm just saying my name because I don't want thou offended. I want you to think about all the struggle in your life. And I want you to receive You don't have programming for what you desire. And let me help all of you. Prayer will never help your programming. Can somebody write that down in chat so people can get offended? Prayer will never help your programming. I'm offended, Antonio. How dare you say that? Because you only prayer via your programming. Ah, now it's no longer offensive, ain't it, Tracy? Oh, God, our Father, give me all these things. Nevertheless, if it's in your will. So you don't want it, is what you are saying. And she says, well, I don't say that, but the whole time you praying, you begging. How dare you have a gracious God, Chef Jay, that wants you to have the desires of your heart. That wants you to have exceedingly and abundantly above all you can ask or think. That wants to present you faultless, that wants you to walk by faith and not by sight, that wants you to know that nothing is impossible with me, that wants you to know now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. How dare you have a God that makes you beg? Is there anybody here that serves a God that forces you to beg before you get something? But we do that, don't we?
You ain't right, boy. You ain't right.
I'm not at all. I'm not at all. Put the speaker on just a little bit so y'all can hear them. I'm not at all. Not at all right. Okay, turn up just a little more.
Hey.
Yes. Talk to
So
me,
this is
Trinesh.
what I'm thinking.
Talk to me.
I'm not churched like everybody else.
Fair enough.
So the fact that I'm not churched like everybody else, I think prayer is a little bit different for me. I don't feel the need to repeat myself 100 times.
That's good.
First of all, God know what I want. He know what I need
Good.
better than I do. And that's usually the argument that I have with the church people.
Fair
You gotta
enough.
ask God a bunch of times. So I look at it like I got kids. And you know what? I don't like for them to continue to repeat and ask me stuff. Can I have? Because if you repeat too much, I'm not getting you nothing. Because that means you don't trust that I'm gonna get it, right? It's the same
I can respect
perspective,
that.
right?
It is. I can respect that. God is
Okay.
a parent as you are.
So that's one thing that I don't understand as a air quote Christian,
Fair enough.
why that is like that.
Fair
And
enough.
I don't understand, you make me fucking sick. The
Fair enough.
other day, I was talking to somebody and I said, Christianity is not easy. Buddhism is not easy. No religion is easy when you consider they are all likened to each other, right?
Right.
The basis of each religion is the same, whether it's the prophet or whoever the being is. They're all the same, and we're all supposed to be living a lifestyle like whoever this person is. And then we all make the same excuse in whatever religion.
Okay.
I'm a human, so I fall short. So let's beg God to give me something.
Okay.
That's all I said, all of that to go back to that part. We got to beg God to give us something that he want to give us anyway.
Fair enough.
But we get on his nerves begging him.
Well, what's the difference between begging and asking? Because you can ask for something without begging, right? And the word does say ask and it shall be given. So there's a difference between begging. So I just want to make sure we get an understanding of that.
And let's add a third element into this. So we got begging, the difference between asking and begging. And then there's a third element we want to add into this, asking because you're practiced. Can we write all these things down, please? Asking, begging, and the difference of, put begging parentheses and the difference of, and then asking for practiced. You're practice asking. Let's start with Go ahead, Talisha. You too funny too. You just way too funny. Go ahead, Talisha. She sent me a text message. It's too funny, y'all.
What she said about the whole, we are, she just, what was the word you used about at the end? Oh, Trinace, I'm sorry.
Trinace, what you said at the end.
The very end, you said we are doing something to God. We are not nagging him.
You know his nerves. Don't your child get? I know when I had kids, don't be asking me a million times. I already said that I was gonna do it.
She said begging.
Begging.
Okay. Oh, okay. I thought you said it was getting on his nerve, because I was gonna say like
Getting on his nerves is
what...
accurate though. That's part of the third thing we're gonna bring in, but keep going. That's accurate.
Okay.
That's biblically accurate. Hold on, real quick. Be not like
because I was thinking, I was
be
like,
not like the
his
Pharisees
kids.
on the corner of the streets where they may be seen by men, for they have their reward. But thou, come on, you King James folk.
So
be not like the Pharisees on the corners of the synagogues, so they have the begging because they have their rewards. But thou,
I equate
right,
the begging part
When thou pray.
asking for the same thing. That's what I equate begging for too.
No
Asking
doubt.
for the same thing over and over and over, like he hadn't heard you.
Fair enough, Talisha. Your response.
Okay.
You rebuttal. No. Don't agree.
No,
don't
no,
disagree.
I
Run
just
it.
okay. So what I was thinking when I thought she said we get on his nerve, and I was just like, well, if he loved us, that wouldn't really be getting on his nerves, because I don't see God. My God, I don't see him like that. Like if I ask something, he's just like, okay, so you're working my nerves. Like,
This is
I
fair.
don't look at that way, but when you said it, that's what came to mind. And I'm trying to put God, well, what he is he's not like man. So I'm not going to say that he, like we are annoying, like we are a nuisance to him.
I like what you're saying. In addition, is this too much feedback, y'all? Is it a lot of feedback coming? Great, perfect. No, perfect. Not too much feedback, right? Y'all okay? Okay, good. Different kind of mic. Talisha, I love what you're saying, because you don't want to have a bipolar, schizophrenic God. I'm okay with that. You feel me? I'm perfectly okay with you not having an emotionally unintelligent God. This is okay. I'm okay with that.
Antonio,
But
Yes.
Jerome laughing. So what's up, Jerome?
Because when I'm getting ready to say before Susan go, just give me 10 seconds. But when I tell people with a Christian background these things, they always say, not me. If I say we don't struggle with forgiveness, they always say, not me. But if somebody walk into a room and alter your mood, you struggle with forgiveness. So we have this habit of always going, not me. We're gonna come back to that. Susan, please add to this wonderful conversation.
well, God is all knowing. So he already knows everything that you're thinking and everything that was and is and what's going to be. So repeating it is just for your own comfort, your own anxiety, your own stress.
What kind of vibration is that, though? If it's for your own comfort, own anxiety, own stress, as a human consultant, if you were coaching me, what would you tell me about that vibration?
Well, usually it may be just one or the other. I was kind of saying all of them that it could be, but there's times you might feel in peace about it, and then other times you might have anxiety about it. Just depends on the day, the time, the mood, the time of the month. For some people, things for women.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, some things could be a biological response. That's fair. That's absolutely fair. How could God give you a menstrual cycle and then punish you for the biological responses that happen within it? That's fair. That doesn't seem like God to me.
It's usually before it's coming that women get the worst, and then once they start to have their period, they start to feel better.
You probably bring up the greatest point I've heard in 2023 so far. Let's open that up real quick. Let's let's make all our bad times menstrual cycles for a moment. Let's just do this. Well, let's just do this for a moment. This is a fair conversation. This is menstrual cycles are as normal as breathing. So let's do this for a moment. Everybody here knows there's a bad time scheduled for all of us coming soon. Is this okay? Or are you that wooey fooey with your spirituality that you have no bad times coming? Which human are you today? This is the problem with talking to Christians, Phil. They always, not me, my God. Let me tell you something. My kids on camera right now, the beautiful kids, and I can do nothing, Tracy, to stop them from being crushed. They're going to leave this place. And I hope only, Chef Jay, that I have taught them, that their mother, Monique, has taught them how to stand back up. Because whether we want to or not, they are going to die emotionally. And there is nothing we can do about that. That's a menstrual cycle getting ready to happen for them. We'll come back to it. Go ahead, Susan.
Well, think about, this program that I've been watching, that I've been telling you about.
Yeah, I got to jump on it.
Starts in the 50s, and then it goes to the 60s, and then the 70s, 90s, and then 2000s. So in the 50s and 60s, I mean, this woman comedian, got put in jail because she said that time of the month and said some certain things like that are not to be talked about publicly. So they pulled her off the stage and put her in jail, for different things like that, but definitely for that.
Yeah, very different time.
Yeah. So, I mean, we are not that far removed from that. I grew up, I was born in the 50s, the 60s, with the biggest part of my childhood and half of the 50s. So those early times, at that time, girls were, not to really be heard.
Right.
And then having 3 older brothers on top of that.
Right.
Me, but I don't know, my family, I didn't feel that kind of pressure.
No, I get it. But as a woman, you still were reading the Bible that said a woman bleeding and was unclean for 7 days, had to go outside the city, couldn't touch nothing until
I
she
didn't
stopped
want
the
any.
cycle. Had to go to a priest to be deemed you're not bleeding no more. Now you can talk to anybody. That's a fact. That's in Leviticus, by the way.
Yeah, the minute my mom said something really weird when I came to her, like it was almost a fear of stay away from boys now, not that I was quiet and all that, but it was like, what does she mean by that? I didn't even know what she meant.
There's a few on the call that can agree with you. They got the same advice. One of them is on the top left side of the screen. Her last name rhymes with Andals. She can relate to you. She can relate.
Yeah. Well, my mom grew up Catholic, so.
Oh, yeah, you had it worse.
Very Catholic.
Yeah, definitely. You can't dance, sing, or blink in the Catholic Church. It's all sins. It's all sins. I got you, Talisha. I ain't gonna forget you. Keep going, Susan.
Well, it's just now, I mean, the 70s, 80s, 90s were really kind of smooth times. And now it's just a free for all about everything. Everything is just
because the internet.
Yeah.
The
internet is going in the other direction in a way.
Yeah. The internet got everything free fall. Talisha, give me 1 minute. Let me break down what Susan's saying and then add more to what Susan's saying that she did not say. This idea of a menstrual cycle, I only mean by the moon, every 28 days, you're going to walk into something you didn't ask for. Is that okay? But the no, it was that. See, the crazy thing is, even now I'm looking at y'all faces. This is why this is a camera's on class. I'm looking at y'all faces. The crazy thing is now, when I say it, everybody here is going to get in trouble soon. Everybody here is going to have a terrible time soon. You literally got so spiritual. Not me. Don't speak things on me. It's impossible for us not to have a bad day soon. The goal is not to go with the bad day, but for you not to think an ebb and a flow is for everybody but you. You's a fool. It makes no sense. Even your heart beats, then stops beating, then beats again. And I say this, Talisha, give me 20 seconds. My kids, 14, about to be 15 in October, 11 Scorpios, and then 6, just turned 6. They gonna die emotionally. Somebody's gonna betray them. Nothing I can do about it. They mama, she fight kids, so don't have y'all kids around, messing with her kids. Okay, she just rolled eyes and was like, 43rd block, Palm Terrace. Y'all don't know what that is.
You leave my friend alone. Don't be doing that to him.
Fair enough. I'm just saying.
Don't be doing that.
Y'all, there's nothing I can do about my kids experiencing this human existence. I would love for them not to ever get crushed. My only job, Chef Jay, is to teach them the values of how to get back up. But they will be crushed by somebody outside their parents. And if I don't master my own emotions, they'll be crushed by me. Come on, Talisha. She said,
So
wow.
you brought up several things, and one I was kind
Talk
of
about all of them.
currently experiencing. Sorry, daughter, in advance for telling your business, but it's okay.
She wasn't my daughter got gout and a yeast infection. No, I'm just joking. Y'all know how them church mothers is. Let me go in there telling all the business. You know what I'm talking about, Grace.
Oh.
Okay, go ahead.
So I'm gonna start with the very last thing you talked about, because that's like current right now.
You don't want to do the yeast infection part. That was terrible.
Oh no, not
even
that.
Susan went, oh my God, I can't believe he said that. You don't want to do that part.
Can you, go get my charges, but my computer about to die.
Oh yeah, don't let her computer die. Okay, keep going.
The very last thing you were talking about how we can't protect our child for any and everything. And then sometimes I think I get anxiety sometimes because I be thinking like I'm here to protect her from everything, and I know I can't, but I want to be that super mom all the time, or to protect her from things that I went through or whatever, or try to give her, hide some certain things. So recently she had an encounter with her dad, and she tried to smooth things over, and things didn't go well. So this has been going on for 2 weeks now. Like we're still trying to get through it.
It happens.
He did something evil at the end of the day after she tried to smooth things off, basically cut her phone off, and now she has no service. So now I'm currently searching for a phone for her and getting her another line, because I'm not going to let that stop. You know what I mean? I'm not going to me, I feel like that's control and that's manipulation. And for me, I was just like,
every mother here would agree with you. Is there a mother here that disagrees with? No, there's not. You got amens all across the building right now. Keep on going.
So my daughter is currently trying to figure out what she did wrong. And I keep trying to tell her she did nothing wrong and to pray for her.
That's a tough question.
But this is what she brought about me that was like, whoa, like, I didn't know she was, Deanna, I know you keep telling me, Talisha, she's watching you. She is watching you. And I was like, yeah, I'm hearing it, but I heard it. I heard it the day she said, she told me the other day, she said, I was like, baby, are you still upset with your dad? And she was just like, yeah, kind of. I was like, okay. And then we went into prayer. However, she was like, Mom, I was like, so how do you feel about your dad? She was like, he doesn't exist. Right. And that was just like, whoa, she cutthroat, right? And then she was like, I said, baby, why would you say that? Like, I don't want you to forget him, just, I know you're upset with him for what he did and how he handled the situation. I said, but we got to walk in forgiveness, right? You know what she hit me with?
What she hit
Mom.
you
She said, Mom, that's not what you did when you was with Conrad.
with?
She was like, every day he walked through the house. This is my ex, y'all. She was like, every day he walked through the house, you act like he didn't even exist. You walked clean past him, like he didn't even exist. She said, so I got it from you. And I was just like, Deanna, in my head, like, Lord, she just got me real good. I was just like, wow, like I sure did. I did. That was my coping for everything that was going on in my life. I walked around like he wasn't nothing. Like you don't exist to me. You just, and she's doing it to her dad. And I was like, oh wow, like I really got to pay attention to what I do now, because now she's taking the man that helped birth her as he's nothing over something. I feel like it's minute. I feel like both of them should get over it. It's not my choice on this. This is between them two. One just went very overboard with the situation.
Pick me, coach. Pick me.
Oh, go ahead.
Pick me, coach. Okay. Pick me, coach. Okay. Listen.
Go ahead.
Everybody listen. Everybody listen. Everybody listen. Natalie is your daughter, right?
Yes.
Such a beautiful name. Listen. Everybody listen. Her relationship with God is jacked up. How you gonna say God is the father when she beefing with her father? Can I keep going? Her relationship with God is messed up. How you gonna say God is a loving nurturer when her mama cut people off in non-existence? I could do this all day. I could do this all day long. That's just 2. I could think of 12. Here's the deal. I say this all the time. Children do not live what you have told them. They live what you have showed them.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to start the call off with this. I'm going to say it now till you should get ready to respond to me. My daughter is 6. She just turned 6 July 2nd, which means I no longer have a birthday month, as I'm July 20th.
Oh, wow.
Since the last button on the coat is July 2nd, I ain't got no birthday. It was a stupid birthday anyway. It never meant to be. As soon as she was born in July, Monique should have tucked pumped out and what's the June? You should have. Well, that would have been your month though. Never mind. So she had a choice, and it was my month. All right, that makes sense. I'm the provider. That makes sense. Let us examine. She is 6. I have 2 more years of programming with my daughter. Allow me to explain. I started to start off this way. Retrain subconscious. When my daughter was born, I do know why. It was my fault. I was in a different place, and I was serious about not arguing, serious about not beefing. That seriousness about keeping peace created chaos in my wife. Does somebody know what I'm talking about? Does that resonate with y'all? Like, I'm trying to do the right thing, but the way I'm doing it, the signal, the energy that's pouring off of me is F you too. Is this y'all know what I'm talking about? Or is that too real? Is this okay? I'm saying this in front of my kids. So when my daughter was born, I kid you not, she had a problem with her daddy. I mean, from birth, because her daddy created problems for her mother in the womb. Tracy gets it. There's a word for this called epigenetics. See, children are born with 50% of their personality. And I was feeding my daughter, I'm not going to argue. Instead of let me lean into this and be in harmony with it. Let me lean into understanding. And there is no difference between Antonio going, I'm not going to do this. We're going to be peaceful. We're going to do this. Versus Talisha going, I don't know you. You don't exist. There's no difference. They are the same energy. They're just two different methods. It's like an octopus. It's 8 legs or 8 arms. We was 2 of them. Y'all got the other 6 while you hide behind me and Talisha. They ain't like that. They ain't like that. Me and Talisha, 2 of the arms. Y'all is gangster and evil as us. And so I've been having, it took me 4 years to help make my daughter a daddy's girl. How many years? 4 or 5? She would say 4. 4 years to get my daughter to like me like she like her mama off 9 months of pseudo positivity. Oh, y'all gonna hear today. Nah. See, your problem is you don't want to be transparent. Me, I don't care. I live my life to the fullest. I do my very best. I analyze my actions and then I change them. I don't have fear of consequences and judgment. I don't live through my avatar. So I can stand here flat-footed and tell you, my daughter, I taught her through the womb. It's peaceful out here, except for your daddy. Y'all don't want to hear me. That's all right. It's all right. That's all right. Let's go to science. The silent generation, 1920s and 30s, they gave birth to thick children who retained fat in their cells for 25 years because what happened in 1929? Black Tuesday. And what ushered in after that? The Great Depression, as Jamal just said. And the Great Depression told Susan's mother's womb is rough out here, baby. Store fat. Now, if we doing that to fat cells, what you think daddies is doing to their kids in the womb? So I have been vehemently retraining my daughter's subconscious. We good now. But Tracy, I'm here to Monique, am I lying? She say it on the mic right here. Sit. No, he's not lying. There you go. She ain't got no voice. You know, she got disability right there. She ain't got no voice. I ain't lying. Took me 4 years to reverse 9 months, 40 weeks. Talisha, how old is Natalie?
She's 10.
Okay, then we'll see you in a positive effect in 16. She already tried. Don't let me speak it over you, but you get the point, though, right? It's not my attempt to tell you how God is going to hold you back. That's not my attempt. My attempt is, though, Trinace, Christians, always not me. We have to stop that. We have to stop thinking, Chef Jay, that your son is 4. I'm an active listener. I believe your son is 4, right, Chef Jay? Is it not 4? Okay, 4. I think she said 4. She told me this 6 months ago or whatever when she first got to the call. I'm thinking I'm right. I don't know what she taught her son. I know he learned it like a genius, though, Susan. I know that much. I know it went hook, line, and sinker. I know that much. And I know how he respond to the YouTube when it don't YouTube right. Or how he play on that tablet of the Roblox. How it don't Roblox right. And you go, and And you go, stop me having attitude. That's because you, Antonio, I'm saying my name, you act like that when you're frustrated. That's why he act like that when he frustrated. Take it from me. I can tell you all three of my kids act just like they damn daddy. Monique is the most perfect, beautiful, gifted person and family on the planet. I say it all the time. It just is what it is. She is the nurturer. It just is what it is. She is gifted at nurturing. My oldest son, wave your hand, buddy. You in the light. There, you right there. He act just like his damn daddy. He act exactly like me. Right now, they all awkward. Aiden is the most awkward because 14 years ago, for that first 8 years, I was still trying to learn how not to be a psycho. It's a long story. Don't worry about it. So no, I was great. He's never been angry in his whole life. But if you ask him something, he's awkwardly non-social. If right now, if his mama say give him a hug, he gonna laugh, give him a hug. If I say give him a hug, he gonna be like, okay, it's gonna be an awkward hug. He get that from his daddy because his mother always hugging and kissing and jumping on them. His daddy with the fist bumps. Good job, buddy. I taught them this. It's not a bad thing. It's just now, I told him this morning, all right, buddy. Was it this morning or this afternoon? I was like, was it this afternoon? I told him this afternoon, hey, it's all right to show emotions. Like, I got to retrain him now because he gonna grow up, date Tracy's daughter, who gonna be a cougar. Well, no, they're about the same generation. They're about the same. She 19, he 14. And they're about the same. That's about, when she 29, 25, they ain't too bad. But he gonna be dating Tracy's daughter, showing no emotions. Can't no woman deal with that. So now I got to make sure, Susan, that I let him recover from his daddy not showing emotions. Now, he's never been angry his whole life. My kids only ever seen me angry 3-4 times tops. Of course, when I get angry, furniture move, the earth gets scorched, ground get to moving, water get to evaporating, the devil get to hiding. Who else like me? I'm talking about like all the heads up. Okay, then you understand, all right? When the devil get to hide from Jerome, you done messed up. He gonna need a piece of that. You understand the rest of that sentence. You understand? I'm trying to communicate to you, Chef J, this ain't just about retraining my subconscious, little mama. My subconscious went into my kids, whether you like it or not. Now, they got 50% of their own personality, but I did the other 50% along with their mom. And whether y'all want to hear it or not, they're gonna get mad at me for this. If you are a single mother, you're gonna get mad at me for this. You're not going to like this. If you are a single mother, Talisha, let me tell you what I had to tell them. Let me before I finish my statements, Susan, because I don't want to get, because this is more than get stoned to death. This is like cut to death, right? This is slit throat. Let me finish. Let me tell you what I told you one day. You ain't no single mom. They'll wrong you. That man is in this boy life. Y'all divorced. That's not single mother. That's not the same thing. That's not the same thing. Just because y'all in 2 households don't mean you was a single mother. What the hell's wrong with you? Why do you need to have this badge? Am I lying, Deanna? Did I not tell that to you?
No, you're not lying.
This man is in this man's life. Yes, you are a lone mother for 2 weeks. You are not a single mother. You are splitting custody.
Not for 2 weeks.
You're splitting custody. That's crazy. It's crazy to wear this as a badge. But I'm here to tell you, you're not going to like it. But if you're wearing single mother as a badge, your child is wearing it too. You ain't gonna like it. Right? I got you real quick, Chef Jay. Just give me 15 seconds not to get cut to death. I'm not saying if you are a single mother. That's not what I said. I said if you're wearing single mother as a badge. I did not say if you are a single mother. If you're wearing it as a badge, calling your baby king while disrespecting or ignoring the tree that your baby flowed from, your baby is wearing that single motherness. And whether you know it or not, you're shaping that child's reality. Damali and Chef Jay.
Just to add to that, I remember one of the things my old pastor used to say is, it's great that you are, raising your child well, raising them up in the Lord, teaching them how to be responsible as a single parent. But if you're not teaching your child that lifestyle is dysfunctional, you're doing them a disservice. Teach them that, yes, you can do it if you have to, but it's not something to aspire towards. It's not something that you reach towards. It's something that you do because you have to, but you teach your kids that the normal thing is a two-parent household. I was like, man, you got a good point, because a lot of people don't preach against that lifestyle. They don't teach their kids.
No doubt. And I know what I said is mean and controversial. It wasn't mean at all. And I know people disagree with me, and I expect you to disagree. And I'm okay with your pushback. Go ahead, Chef Jay.
My stuff is probably all over the place.
All over the place. This is a good all over the place conversation.
So, like, I've been on my self-love journey. I'm still on it. So, like, it goes with your mind and how you think, and you begin to crack the code, as they say. You begin to break out of the matrix, and it's really true.
It is.
What I've learned in this, like, your emotions does not matter. Again, your emotions don't matter. How you feel is how you feel. Like, you got to suck it up, because at the end of the day, right is right and wrong is wrong.
Fair enough.
You can't go around that. And then it's like, when you know better, you do better, period. When you know better, you do better. When yourself tell you, hey, you talk too much, or hey, you do this, do better. Because when you listen to yourself is the cheat code. Yourself tells you, yourself evolves you if you listen to it.
That's right.
We lean on our own understanding, which is our emotions. That is what gets you jacked up. It's just like, you have to do the things that you don't want to do, because at the end of the day, like you said, you're doing this for your kids. Like, they don't teach you emotions and all that stuff in school. They teach you 1, 2, 3, because if you learn your emotions and you learn right from wrong and you do better, that's how you evolve. That is what we are designed to. We are designed to evolve. It don't matter if they blowing up 5 countries right now. At the end of the day, if that ain't your business, that ain't your business. You're supposed to evolve. You evolve. Like, learn what is a distraction. Learn what's not a distraction. But at the end of the day, yourself tells you that. But you have to listen to yourself and shut up and get out of the way. And, hey, I just feel like this today. Like, I don't feel like this all the time. Like, if you, like I just said, if you know you, like, and that goes for anybody. And I feel like you tell your kids that if you know you gon' protect you.
Yeah.
Don't nobody got your back like you. And for all my biblical people, that's God. That's your Holy Spirit. Ain't nobody protecting you like that. So listen to you and quit listening to man, and learn how to evolve and learn how to work all that stuff will work, and it'll fix itself if you listen.
There's a lot of scriptures in what you said. I heard like 12 of them. Most notably, you repeated one over and over. Lean not to your own understanding. That's Proverbs 3, 4, and 5, something like that. Like, Like that's the
5 and
crowning.
6. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. 3, 5, and 6, and 3, 4, 5, and 6. Yeah, that is like genuinely the golden rule of Proverbs. So you said it over and over in different ways. So this is everything you said is incredibly biblical. I wanted to go back to something you said a couple of months ago, Chef Jaden, and get to Tracy. You and it. I was you. Y'all know how people say something and you put it in your pocket. You don't even know you put it in your pocket, Susan. This is in there. And then you be thinking about something one day, you watch something, you go, man, you know what? Such and such said that. And you just pull out your pocket. You don't even know you pull out your pocket. It just get up in your face. Chef Jay said, you know, my mama did a bunch of stuff. And I realized I caught all that. And I started changing. And I had to go back to my mom and say, wait a minute, I recognize you don't act like this no more, and I'm acting like you. And then she said, her mama said, yeah, I don't do that. And then she told her mama, well, why you didn't teach me not to do that no more? When did you learn not to do that? So I didn't have to repeat the cycle. So before we get to you, Tracy, Chef Jay, if you can speak on that so you can, because I'm terrible at quotes, but I remember that. I put that in my pocket.
No, I was just asking my mom, like, as I'm going through my journey, I'm like, when did you know better? And she said, and she was like, well, when I was this age, this is when I began to know better. And I said, well, why didn't you do better? Because if you would have did better, I would have saw you do better, and I would have knew better. Cause now I'm 30 and I'm out here like, I never knew what love looked like, y'all. I'm telling you, I didn't know what it looked like until I got by myself and was like, damn, this is what I like. This me. Like, it's emotions and all that you should learn from home. Like, cause we are so weird as adults. And now look at the generation behind us. They're weirder. You get what I'm saying? It's just like, so like we got to do better to fix all of this, because it's just, that's who got to take care of us.
Y'all hear that? That was wisdom, huh? So I can assume from that story, Susan, her mama knew better when she was still watching her mama, but she didn't do better. Got her out here 30 tripping. I think we all got that same story, don't we? There's not a single person on this planet that don't come from a dysfunctional family in some sort of a way. We all got dysfunctional families. It is not a unique story. So if that's your unique pain point, it's messing up your money and your law of attraction. Give it up. It's all of us. I am, and Monique is, we're the greatest parents alive. And these kids are still gonna have some sort of dysfunction. But our only job is to make sure, Susan, they leave this house without childhood trauma. So far, we've done a good job. Our job is to raise our children to where they can leave this house with no childhood trauma. Amen. Lights and walls. Come on, Tracy.
Hello. I have a lot to add really quickly.
No, don't add it quickly. Add it slowly. Put your weight on it.
So, okay. I'm going to touch on a bunch of the different conversations that everybody just had. So first, I'm going to go back to, so as far as the social and emotional part, that's what I teach, right? But I get them at 7th grade. So they're 12, 13 years old. And I'm teaching
trees you can't bend. Mm-hmm.
Well, that's where the reprogramming comes in, because when you were talking about how you do the fist bump and you're trying to teach him now you can show emotion, that's one of the biggest things that I have to go back and reprogram a lot of the children, especially the guys, to let them know that there's more than anger is not the only emotion that they can show, because that's one of the things that they're taught. And so as far as the young ladies, one of their things that I'm usually having to reprogram my young ladies is love, what you were just talking about. teaching them what love looks like in different aspects, right? And so with that, I have a daughter. She's 19. I'm going back to another conversation we started at the beginning because we're talking about how we can't protect them, but we want to teach them before they leave the house. That was my biggest struggle last year when she went away to school. I was crying and worried and nervous, and that's what he told me, that one right there. He says, if you taught her right and you trained her up in the way that you want her to go, why are you crying? Why are you worrying? Because you already instilled in her what she needs to do. So you need to trust. So this was the thing. He said, well, do you trust what you did as a parent? Because I was thinking more of the world is gonna, you know, be this, and she's in Atlanta and I'm in Houston and I can't be there for her. But that was the thing. Did I trust the way that I had raised her for her to know how to do the right thing? Now, you just said something else about the whole not having childhood trauma when they leave the house.
That's right.
I thought that I had raised her without a lot of childhood trauma because I didn't do like my mama did me. Back to what Chef Jay was saying, my mama had a lot of, never told me stuff, kept everything to herself. And kind of like what Talisha was saying, like you don't like really want to tell her some stuff and you want to keep some of the stuff in. But I learned from teaching the kids, hey, have those conversations with your, especially your daughters, if you have and your sons, but have those conversations and not be afraid to actually tell them some of the things that you went through, like Chef Jay saying, because I learned this. My mama didn't tell me any of this stuff she went through until literally like recently. This year, I sat down and had a conversation with her, and I was like, look, because it was a whole love thing, because she never really showed love. And so I had to learn love from a whole different aspect. But when I went to her and I was like, you know what? I forgive you because you only did what you knew to do, right? And they were taught not to tell your daughters all the stuff you did in the past. But a lot of those things that she did in the past, if she would have told me and would have told me at least the consequences behind them, I probably wouldn't have done some of the things like you're saying. However, again, she says, well, you know, I wanted you to make your own decisions. Or some parents, I've heard from some students, some parents will say, you know what, I bumped my head. You go, you bump your head too, and you learn from your own mistakes. And they allow their kids to go out there and make the mistakes. What I did, I was like, look, anything you want to know, because I am a true single mother. And with that, I'm like, hey, anything you want to know, any questions you have, any concerns you have, just come and ask. I'm willing and able to answer. I thought that I had got by without any childhood trauma. And then we had a conversation when she came back. It was after one of these calls where we were talking about abandonment. And I talked to her and she felt like she had, so not even knowing until after she was out of the house that she had abandonment issues. And that stemmed from when I was working in management and I was at work 24/7, and I would leave the house to go to work every day between the ages of 1 and 10. Literally, she felt like I was abandoning her, even though I was going to work. But that's the thing. I thought, hey, I'm going to work. I'm making the money. We going and taking trips every year. You have everything she wants as a single parent, as an only child. But that still was something that set in place. And I didn't know until later. Literally, it was since I've been on with you all. And we talked about it, and she's better now because we're reprogramming those thoughts, but that's already been instilled. So like with relationships and being around people and stuff like that, she has that inner, if I get too close and they might not be there, they're going to leave, they're going to go. So that's something that we're dealing with now, and she's 19. But I'm here to help her work through that now, because I'm trying not to do what my mom did with me and literally not tell me anything about anything. Like when y'all were talking earlier about like cycles, and somebody said their mom said stay away from boys. My mom didn't say anything. Literally, my mama was like, I didn't even tell my mama, and we didn't even have any, oh, you a woman conversation. None of that. It was like, oh, okay, nothing. So just wanted to throw in a bunch of little different points that I hadn't heard throughout the whole conversation.
But bring them back up. You said us a whole lot. I put it. Yeah. That was good. Y'all clap for that. That was real good. I got a lot to say, but I'll condense it into two different things. Funny how her daughter's brain made a meaning out of her provisions, but that meaning, nonetheless, shaped your daughter, whether you wanted to or not. This is not up for discussion. Is it fair to Leisha that her daughter said that? No. Is it fair that her daughter said that? Yes. It's both. And kudos for you, Tracy, for leaning in, eating that instead of defending yourself. One of the worst things Tracy can do right now is defend herself. Well, I only did that. Nope. Because now you're invalidating your daughter, thus adding to the abandonment issues. Now you're teaching her, people who love me, I can't even talk to, and they go abandon me. So right now, her daughter is walking around relationships saying things like, you're going to leave me like everybody else. Oh, y'all don't want to keep it real with me, huh? Yeah. Where you going? When you getting there? How you going? Give me your password. What's your email? Put me on your story. All that's abandonment issues. You ain't gotta like it. It's the truth because it manifests itself in all these different ways. Shout out to you, Tracy. Good job. Because what she could do is do the opposite. Now, before I get Trinace, there's always this is why you church folk get on my nerves. This had nothing to do with Trinace. I was getting ready to say this regardless, because that's why I was setting up Tracy. Got to get on my nerves. And Susan, thank you for your emails by Dr. David Jeremiah. I read them both this morning. Fantastic. But God got to remind me that church folk is his people too. Because y'all get on my nerves. I'm not going to lie to you. Folk who are born and raised in the church, I can't stand y'all. And every day I can't stand y'all, I'm sinning. And I got to repent. I got to die to the flesh daily about y'all. Y'all hear me? Because y'all are the most vindictive, vengeful persons, unforgiving people on the planet. Let's just, by show of hands, how many of you don't just suffer from unforgiveness, you use it as a punishment? It's all right. I bet I ain't gonna forgive you. You won't do that again. Thank y'all for your transparency. It's the rest of them too. They just don't want, you won't do that again. I ain't gonna be no fool. I forgive, but don't forget. Come on, all these things, right? All these things. We say these things. We say these things. And I'm not saying it wrong, but what I am saying is that spiritually high people have an issue with transparency because you spend so much time giving it all to God, giving it all the source, giving it all to the universe. You never deal with your damn trauma. Let's take Tracy again. Trinace, hopefully I'm setting you up for a great conversation. Tracy could have said, but God knows my heart. But her daughter ain't have God to talk to. I'm not saying she didn't know God, but God wasn't her mama. Her mama did the offense, not the Lord. You don't want to hear me. I'm going to do it again and make sure everybody gonna get it. If you never, let me not even prove this point. Let me just ask y'all a question and I'll let y'all prove it in your own heads. How many saved, spiritual, religious people y'all know jacked up with childhood trauma? Can't even confess they've been molested and raped as a child. We can think of a whole list of them, can't we? Because trauma is only relieved when we can actually talk to Phil. But what does our parents and religion say? Well, stay in this house. What happened in this house? Stay in this house. Take it to the cross. Take it to the altar. No, take it to your damn therapist. Take it to your friend. Take it to your mama. Take it to somebody. Because if you can't have a dialogue, you hold that inner dialogue that messes up your money, your vibration, and your abundance. Come on, Trinace.
So I was really listening intently, although I was cracking my sunflower seeds, because that's how I think with my sunflower seeds.
I got you.
So that abandonment thing works differently too. It can put you in situations where you stay longer than you need to be there.
Ooh, you better talk. You better talk. That's that whole, I don't want to go back out in the dating game. I don't want to go get a new job. I don't want to be the new person. Y'all hear her? We do it.
I don't want to move. I don't know how many states I've lived in, but I don't mind moving. I don't mind changing a job, but my daughter has an abandonment issue. No. I do too, but mine don't show up the same way hers does.
Yeah, no.
Mine shows up where, well, this ain't working. Fuck you, I'm out.
Fair enough.
Her, I really have to make this work.
That's the same issue, two different ends of the spectrum.
I gotta prove.
The first, hold on real quick, Shanae. The first one is, I ain't gonna never get too attached to you because I got abandonment issues. I'm gonna leave you before you leave me. The second one is, I got abandonment issues. You can't go nowhere. They the same thing, Damali. Okay? Mm-hmm. Okay, keep going, Shanae.
So then you gotta prove. I gotta prove I love you. I gotta suffer. Because don't the Bible say somewhere love is long suffering or something?
It does. It's out of context when you use it that way, but it absolutely does.
But it does. But that's always the way that I hear it. And for me, as a not born and not saved from the womb to the tomb Christian, that's dumb as hell to me. And it's nothing wrong with people who say from the womb to the tomb. I'm just not like that.
Fair enough.
There are certain things that I hear church people say that I be like, that don't even make no sense.
Fair enough.
Love is not long suffering. This is just like a deep thought about things, because I have 3 different children. They got 2 dads. They got the same mama, and all 3 of them are different.
Yep.
They suffer different traumas, and those different traumas show up in, I'm gonna stay with this woman.
Oh, there you go.
Because I don't want my kids to be raised without their daddy like I was, like my siblings were.
Ooh, wait a minute, Trinace. Wait a goddamn minute. Did y'all hear what she said? Because Bertha May. Give me some of them old names, Grace. Help me out, Grace. Gertrude.
Avis.
Oh my goodness, Grace. You went all the way back. And Avis?
These are real people I'm named.
Y'all, how many of y'all got a grandmother like me? Got divorced after 30 years. It happens. It absolutely happens. Because Susan was taught, put your life on hold, get them kids out the house, and then do what you got to do. That's toxic. That's deadly toxic. Because what Susan did, not this Susan, I'm using her name. What Susan did was teach all 12 of them kids, put up with some stuff you ain't got to put up with. That's what Susan taught those kids. And one of them kids gonna come back and say, well, mama, you ain't had to, if you'd have left, I'd have supported. Anyway, go ahead, Trinace. Keep on going. We talking today. It's
Then
retraining
another,
your subconscious part 2 if you didn't know. Come on.
then another child, no, relationship ain't right, but I'ma stay because I'm gonna make it right and I'm gonna show everybody else this shit right. Although I see it's fucked up. And now I'm not gonna tell you about it because you gonna keep telling me it's fucked up.
Yeah. Fair enough.
And then
This is fair. This is fair. Okay. Jana, put these names in the chat for me. Trinace, Jamal, Talisha, and I saw somebody else with their hand up too, but we'll figure it out. Okay, keep going, Trinace.
and then we got the other one. Who anybody say something to him, he just
Yep.
roar because I can't let nobody get close to me to hurt me.
That's right.
Because I feel abandoned, but don't know that that's what it is.
Yep.
So as much as I tried to do everything different from my mother, and I did, like I explained, like we talked about a couple of months ago, I tried to do a lot of things different than my mother, but I hurt them in different ways than my mother hurt me.
I'm so glad thank you. You know what? I'm so glad you weren't raised in the church, because it took somebody not raised in the church or literally spiritually got beyond that to say that. Because I was hoping somebody, when Talisha said it, and then somebody else when Chef Jay said it, I was hoping somebody say, yeah, I ain't like my parents, but I messed up just like them, just in a different way. I was so hoping somebody said that.
I did. But the good thing is, my kids ain't like me. They ain't like me because they are very forgiving. Not their mama, though.
You ain't got to tell me. I know you.
Not their mama.
We talk almost every day.
They will forgive you, and they will give you time, like the Bible says, 77 times 7. Me? But that's how they are. They are very understanding. They are very loving.
Hold on, real quick. Hold on, Trinace. Hold on. Let me help them understand y'all. I mean, understand you. Let me help y'all understand her. And I want to see if somebody else act like this too. Where's Chef J at? Because that's my partner right there. I know she's gonna keep it real. Trinace work like this is. She trusts you 100% unequivocally when she first meets you, until you mess up one time.
That's right.
Who else is like this?
A+ at the beginning, and then when you fuck up, you will C-.
I totally agree with you. That's how I am. I'm until proven guilty. I'm the sweetest until proven guilty.
A+. Fuck up one time.
So you never get back up.
Yeah, well,
that's some serious abandonment issues, y'all.
Somebody right now is expecting a birthday call.
Right
and
now,
he'll
today.
never ever get another birthday call as long as I live.
Never. Is you going to his funeral? Nope, she ain't going to his funeral. Y'all see that?
There's nothing wrong with that, though. I feel like that is perfectly fine. Like, that's a boundary. You don't want to.
I'm not saying it's not fine.
Just don't give them access to you no more. I think we need to learn that better, because we keep letting people in and we get hurt. Let them in. Now, cut them off.
Okay, that's actually a very fair point. Let me switch those words up just a little bit. So we all do need to learn how to limit our time with people who are no longer good for our vision. As we mature, our vision for our lives.
Such a nice way to say that. That was such a nice way to say that. But I wouldn't have said that like that.
I can always count on Trinace to keep it real. All right, get ready, Jamal, in 1 minute. You got Melissa laughing. We need to all learn how to limit our time. Because as we grow, our vision grows for us, right? How many of you don't want the same things you wanted 2 years ago, Remember what you wanted in the pandemic? It changed, didn't it? That's just 2 years ago.
So I got stuff in the pandemic that I didn't even know that I wanted.
See what I'm saying?
Didn't even know.
No doubt. And Melissa, I'm here to tell you, loyalty has an expiration date.
But loyalty will fuck you over too.
That's why it has an expiration date.
Loyalty will fuck you over too. People be thinking that I'll be loyal to them because I'm loyal to them. I'm loyal to me because I'm loyal to my word. My word.
Fair enough.
That's just me, straight up. If I say I'm gonna call you tomorrow, I'm gonna call you tomorrow, even if I don't feel like, because I gotta be loyal to my word. It ain't you, it's me.
That's a good quality. That's a great quality. You hear me? That's a great quality. Last words about this, and then to Jamal, then to Talisa. Loyalty has expiration date. Trust me on this. As your vision changes, Damali, so do your friends. It's one of the hardest lessons to learn as an adult, because we think, nah, we're taught changing friends is disloyal. I'm gonna come back to that. I'm gonna open that back up. Come on, Jamal.
I was gonna say that sometimes the trauma is cyclical, you know, and that it like we were saying, we passing it down pretty much. Like my father, him and my mother, they got together, they were young. So I remember when I was a kid, I would ask them, could they please stop fighting and just break up? I mean, I'm like 6, 7 years old. I'm like, hey, look, man, we've been doing this for 7 years, dog. Y'all ain't getting no better. Why don't you just go ahead and do something else? I remember this conversation. I'm like, do something else. Like, please. Like, I'm talking about 365, 24/7. They fought every single day.
Every day.
My entire life growing up as a kid. You see them now, they're the pillars of the community. They don't do none of that. But I often said, I think my father's was both and, like he was saying, like he one of them, I ain't never leaving, and he probably should go out, leave from a toxic relationship, but he's also the where you going person at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Like he's doing both of them, and then he's fighting another front because his father was career military, served in 3 wars, Vietnam, the end of World War II, and Korea. So his abandonment issues off the rails. My father wasn't even born in this country. You know what I'm saying? He was born speaking a whole other language, the whole get up. You know what I mean? So, you know, that pride and not wanting to your son to grow up without his father, because even though he has a father, he doesn't see him. My grandfather was gone. You know what I mean? Like first 10 years of his life, you know what I mean? He's MIA. So, you know, the trauma he passed on for me is I'm totally the opposite. Like he never wants to move. Like we were gypsies when I was younger, but once he got to this house, he ain't moved in 30 years. I'm the opposite. I'm like, I don't care nothing about a house. I'm like setting all of them on fire. I don't care. It's a bigger place to store bigger junk. I don't care nothing about a house. You know what I'm saying? But it sends it to an extreme. So it's like, you know, I'm watching it, you know, now I'm watching my daughter and she's like, you know, she's like caught in between. Like sometimes she want to move, sometimes she don't want to go nowhere. Like I just want to stay at the crib and don't do nothing. And I watch her be my father, you know what I'm saying? Where I'm trying to, you know, subconsciously not be him, but at the same time, I'm passing the same.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? Where I'm flip-flopping it, like I'm doing
when you
this.
try not to be somebody, you end up being just like them, right? Whatever you pay attention to grows. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You say, let me jump on this cross with, or this samurai sword with Jamal. See, my boys know, and I've told them once, and I told them once in anger because I was going off of my mom. And well, I had to set some stuff straight. I'm a leader. I never had a mother. I never had a father. So when I became a father, I knew I was going to be a good father. But I had to be a good father through what I understood. Let me, okay. Some of y'all resonated with that. I'm going to say it again for the rest of y'all. I'm a great father. But I'm a father through leadership. Monique is a real mother. That's like, so, you know, when they a real mother. Like, whatever you think mother is, she better than that. Period. I father through leadership, and as I've gotten older, I've gotten softer. And I've made sure that my kids know that I am doing my greatest job to evolve to their needs. I got it right with all three of them. Much better with Aaron than Ashton than Aiden, because I got 3 times at this joint. She the youngest. It's easier. Plus, I'm older. Before Ashton and Aaron was born, how long me and Aiden played football in the living room? Just remember we throw the ball and he'd catch it. Years. That's all it just years, all day long. But what happened is I had to take a different role. Now, my kids may not understand this. They listen now, but they may not understand it. Now, as they got older, these motor scooters got dreams. And they damn dreams cost money. So, you understand, Jerome. One want to go to the NBA. One want to be Bob Marley. So now, well, he probably don't know who Bob Marley is, but Extension, or Juice World, or whatever he likes. I have no idea what Ashton is. Marshmallow or something. You get the point, though. I'm trying to name all these artists that be on Fortnite. You get the point, though. And it's expensive because Ashton want to play keyboard, piano, guitar. He wants to be Prince, for God's sake. These lessons cost money. These instruments cost money. And then we cannot, me and Monique cannot give him some rinky-dink guitar because he's the middle child. If am I lying?
Do you sell it for rinky dink? Why should he sell it for rinky dink?
No doubt. But
Okay.
as a middle child, he gonna see that, ain't he? And then the oldest want to go to the NBA. Now I got to put him in AAU. And I went online. This is $40,000 for a summer. This is Tracy raising her cheerleader daughter. All these uniforms cost $1,000 minimum. I don't know how the hell Tracy made it. I don't know what she did. She cheered next to her daughter. I almost want to start an OnlyFans just to get these kids to their dreams. For me, selling feet pictures or something. Who knows? I don't know. These kids got these dreams. So what I've had to do for the last 2 years is go to my computer. It's the only way I know how to make money legally. You understand? Legally. Because I could make a phone call. We flip this up real quick.
Man, everybody had their dreams, okay?
Quickly. Bad luck. That's somebody's name. That's okay. She laughing. Lucky get it done real quick. Luck will point me in the right direction. We'll have some kilos up in this joint. Real quick, Jerome. Real quick. From Escobar. It won't take long. It won't take long at all. We'll get this done real quick. But that's where I come from. I've had to recluse myself into my computer. So I'm telling my son, work on your craft. I'm telling Ashton, work on your craft. I'm telling Aiden, work on your craft. And then Monique come to me and say, well, Aaron want to be an artist. Another expensive dream. Why can't y'all just want nothing? They want to eat every day. 3
Look at who their
times
father
a day.
is.
That's
The
true.
nerve.
That
The
is
nerve
true.
to want to eat every day.
That is true. That is true. Camp per week for art is $500. You get what I'm saying? So what I've been doing is I've been trying to tell them practice. So I know that if I don't come through within the next year, Susan, I'm gonna F these kids up because I will be responsible for why they couldn't live their dreams. And it won't
Even
matter.
even if you ain't, you still gonna be responsible.
Okay, I'm gonna have the Tracy problem. Did the best I could. But you still got issues. So we get the kids to wait so they can walk around in the weights and do the stuff like that. Okay, get ready, Talisha, in 2 minutes. Just think of new stuff, even if you forgot what you said. My point is, I got to retrain my subconscious mind daily, because when I do it, they do it. I can't tell them retrain their subconscious mind. I have to show them. Kids don't live what you tell them. They live what you show them. So if I'm around here disrespecting their mama, they're going to grow up disrespecting women. Do you hear me? Because I tell them all the time, be sexy. Unmute your mic, buddy. Talk on the microphone real quick. I work out every day. For what reason? This whatever he gonna say. We gonna see what he gonna say. I don't know what he gonna say. Don't worry about it. You're on the spot. It's okay. You can handle it. Go ahead. Unmute your mic. He looking for the answer. I ain't gonna tell him. I can't see. Work out every day for what? I bet your mama can say. Hold on. Work out every day for what? She don't like the answer.
For these breezes, for these little girls.
Okay, then there you go. Work out every day so you ain't got to chase these breezes around.
That's the mama answer.
That's
right
the
there.
mama. Well, that's
Okay.
what I hear. Yeah. I say work out every day, because this is what I tell them. I say work out every day. Get addicted to working out. And I say work on your craft. Get addicted to making money. And then their mama teach them get addicted to being good people. This is why this is a perfect marriage. Because I tell them it's too much pressure for men to go date. Yeah, I don't understand this. And I'm talking to my boys. And then I talk to the girl. I'm going to tell you what I tell these kids. You probably won't agree, but it's my house. I get to tell these kids what I want to tell them. I say, look, work out every day. Get your body right. Because whether you like it or not, women date up. Women don't have time to date down. Women are smart. They're going to date up. Now, you could be fat and sloppy, and now you got to go out here and chase women. Or you could be a good person. You can work out. You can have high income skill sets, and then you can just attract the woman you desire. So I'm not saying anything bad, but y'all don't understand how nervous boys get just to ask y'all out. It's torture. It is genuinely an ulcer because y'all are mean. Y'all are very mean, especially when the light come on in the club. look, all the women who know, if you know, you know, is what the internet would say. You'd be like, ooh, get off me. If you know, you know. Yes, it's called hypergamy. That's exactly what it's called. So I tell them that. I tell them get a high income skill set. And the reason I do this, because I'm trying to get them addicted to being a quality substance man. And then I tell my daughter, pay attention to what your parents are doing. Pay attention to your brothers. So you're not impressed by some boy like your brothers. Don't be impressed by what I'm teaching your brothers. Now, I bet you Adonia agree with that. I'm not saying she disagree with anything, but I bet she agree with that. I'm teaching these boys how to be impressive, and I'm teaching the daughter how not to be impressed by what's impressive. It's the best I got. Little girl, don't you be impressed by what I'm teaching these boys. Boys, don't you not be impressive. I can't do nothing else. I have to, Talisha, 1 minute. I have to teach these kids. Monique has to teach these kids the programming of this world, whether we like it or not. and they have a better chance if they're addicted to working out and keep their bodies tight. They have a better chance of being successful than being fat and sloppy, whether you like that or not. I don't have a choice. They already black. I can't have them black and fat. Now they have an option when they leave. They can get as fat as they want to, but it's going to have to be when they leave. We're not body shaming, but I tell them every day. I use me as an example. You see your daddy. I tell him, I did 150 push-ups today. What y'all gonna do? And I show him my stomach. I say, see, don't get my age and try to lose this stuff. It's too hard. Don't I say that, Monique? It's too hard. Don't get to my age and lose this. It's too hard. Keep it off so you ain't got to lose it. This is wisdom. Now, admittedly, Adonia is coming from my crazy self, so I'm probably warping these kids' minds because you know how I am. You know, any kid of me, pray for them all. You understand? God bless the whole world. Come on, Talisha. Talk about everything you wanted to talk about, even the new stuff.
Okay, so one, I wanted to mention about what Trinace was saying.
She's a Tracy too.
Huh?
She go by Tracy too, by family. All her hoodlums, her hood friends, they call her Tracy. Yeah.
We're gonna go by what Trinace.
Trinace.
Okay, so we go. So what Trinace was saying about abandonment and stuff like that, I wanted to mention, she brought something to me a while, like you stay in different relationships, and one that I think I was in denial for a very long time. I was staying in a relationship due to the fact that I thought more so of security and didn't think I could live on life on my own.
Ooh, you talking. You take all the time you want, girl. You are talking right now.
So I thought, okay, let me just stay through because this person may not be treating me right.
Hold on, pause real quick. I do apologize. Let me just catch everybody up with you. Keep your mic unmuted. When you like Talisha, Monique, Ayo, you taught to get a good man. And you taught to give your all to that good man. But giving your all to that good man leaves you in a vulnerable position, don't it? Leaves you with no skill sets. You end up spending 14 years, look like you've been in jail when you apply for a job because you got a 14-year job gap. This is what Talisha's talking about. Can we catch up now to her conversation? To be a good wife in this world means to put yourself in a vulnerable position. Oh, that's all right. They don't want to hit. Talisha, it's just me and you talking. Come on, keep going. I just wanted to catch him up with you.
So with the abandonment, that's how I felt. And Trinace kind of got me to remember, like, oh yeah, Trisha, that's every time you want to leave, you're just like, but no, he's doing this. Stay a little longer. When I know the relationship wasn't going nowhere. Like
you help. They
Talisha,
hiding behind you right now. They hiding behind you. Don't worry about it. Keep going.
Talisha, you know this ain't good. You know how he treats you. You know how he talks to you. You know he out doing whatever when he wants to, and you ain't gonna do nothing about it. You're gonna keep showing up for him. You're gonna keep doing this, and that. And so I was just like, okay, when are you gonna listen to you, Talisha? Because what Trinace was stating,
yeah,
we have that intuition, we have that voice. Oh, I think it was Jay. Was it Chef Jay? I think she was. Jay. We have that intuition. We know what our mind is telling us. You can do better than this. But out of fear, I'm just sitting there. No, I'm gonna be okay. You know, but deep down inside, I'm crying, I'm hurt. And wishing I would do what my soul is trying to tell me. So I'm grateful that I finally listened. And it's so much better listening to myself and getting to see what God has blessed me with, and God has opened so many doors for me. I'm just amazed. And I think I told Deanna, she told me to make sure I said on the call one day. But Deanna, I totally forgot what I think it was something dealing with. Okay, so Antonio, before I met you guys, I wrote all the stuff that I wanted to do.
Right.
And I put it was a vision board or something. This is before I met y'all. I put it on a vision board of how much money I wanted to make, who I wanted to be. This is when I first met Les Brown. This is when I was just like, oh, I want to be a public speaker, all this jazz, right? I put it on the board, not thinking nothing of it. Right after that, you came on the scene on Facebook. And I was just like, who's this dude? I was looking for Les Brown. I got this dude. I didn't know who he was at the time, but I was like, oh my gosh, like I like what he's saying. Like, yes, he's speaking to me. And so that what made me, I think it was Deanna that reached out to me, or Grace. I'm not sure at the time. And they told me about the program and everything. And I was like, oh wow, this was back in 2017, y'all.
Yeah, it's 2017.
So so I was like, okay, yeah, I'm a join or whatever. And then long story short, everything on that list happened.
Yeah.
Everything. And guess what? And I was telling Deanna, I said, I missed like the 10 years I was married, that list stopped. Having that list stopped because guess what? I was not in the position God wanted me to be to bless me with the rest of the stuff. Now that I'm out of that situation, guess what? The income that I wanted, it's here. Do you get what I'm saying? Like I was messing myself up by not trusting me and trusting God.
I got some stuff to say, Talisha. I got some stuff to say. Keep going. You talk.
However, there is a part of me that's still, like Antonio told y'all last call, I am not fully healed. I look like men, just like Antonio said, like they're dirt.
Mm-hmm.
That's just what it is right now.
That's what it is.
And I don't foresee myself just like, okay, yeah, you can give me a hug. Yeah, we can go out. No, I don't see it happening. Mm-hmm. I probably won't even look your way. You looking at me, I'm not interested. My face gonna show it. Anyway, that. And then I wanted to mention on another subject, I wanted to mention, Antonio, at the beginning of the call, you said something about not to go with the bad days, right?
That's right. That's right.
So when you mentioned that, I was thinking about, I'm going back to the natal chart and everything.
Sure.
And so they say like the natal chart, Deanna, tell me if I'm saying this wrong, but the natal chart basically tells you your life. So basically, even the stuff that bad, the good and the bad, who you're going to marry, all about your sex life, your love life, all that, right? So I was looking through mines again, and I wanted to ask y'all, I still need to understand that chart, to be honest with you. But the bad part of it, I wanted to ask, when you said go with the bad days, the natal chart is there for you to like, is it permanent? That is your life, or you can change that? Like, can you path bend that?
Yes, you can. Everybody deserves to change their stars. Everybody.
Okay, that's what I want to know, because there's like the stars don't change until, and they gave this weird number, and I was just like, oh wow, I won't even be alive by the time that happens.
Well, think of it this way. This is a very good point, and a very convoluted conversation for people before we got to this point. Before we ever talked about it here, they've had these conversations. Think of the natal chart as showing you who you were meant to be and possibility. But you get to choose. You get to choose. Because the good thing about being human is you are God. And God is not bound to the stars. God is the brightest star. God controls the stars. Should you want to bend your path and tell these stars to fit your will, you can. Period. Got me?
Got it.
Good. Let me say a few things real quick, Tracy. I probably shouldn't do it. I'm going to do it, but let me say it after Tracy. You know what? Let me just do it anyway. I didn't look at any faces. I don't know who, But when Talisha was saying 10 years, my life is on hold. And when Talisha was saying, you know, as a wife, when I brought in, I ain't had no skill sets. I didn't look at nobody. I ain't see no reactions. But here's the deal. When everybody hear me, so you can stone me properly. Stone me for what I said, not for what you heard. I deserve to be stoned for what I'm about to say. Just stone me for what I'm about to say, not for what you hear. Most of the women who disagree with Talisha saying that she put her life on hold as a wife, they never been married. Any pushback you are going to receive for saying what you said will come from a woman, not a man. And that woman will not have been married in most cases. And if they have been, they are now bitter for being married. Let me tell y'all something. There is a clear pathology. When I brought up earlier, get ready, Tracy, 2 minutes. When I brought up earlier that Christians like to, not me. Yeah, God is good until you want a husband. Then you can't find one. So do you really have faith? See, I'm here to say the hard stuff. God is good until you want money. Then you can't find none. So do you really have faith? See, what we do is, Antonio, when we say, not me, we're thinking about the areas we not sinning in. But to be separated from money is to be separated from God. You didn't like that? The earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. And if you can't get no money, you got a jacked up relationship with money. And relationship with money is your jacked up relationship with God and money. One more minute, Tracy. And if you want to be with a significant other, male or female, don't matter to me, but if you want to be, and you still praying for that, and you're not getting it, you have a faith problem. But if you want to be, but you patiently waiting, saying, I ain't doing nothing. Come it come, don't it don't, you ain't got no problem. These are two different things. Hear me well. If you like a don't, you're going, hey, come it come. I've been there, done that. Right now, boo-boo, it's about me. I ain't gonna lie to you. I mean that with the greatest motives. You're doing a good job. But if you praying, Lord, send me a husband, but can't get one, there's something wrong with your faith. Or stop saying God can do anything, exceedingly abundantly above all you can ask or think. How about that? Listen to what I'm saying. Remember, this class was built off one statement today. If you have a struggle, you don't have subconscious programming to that end. That's not me. That's science. If you want a mate and praying for a mate and fervently praying for a mate, but can't get that mate, something's wrong with your programming. If you want a mate and praying for that mate, but come and don't, it's all good, ain't nothing wrong with you. Congratulations. It's coming whenever it comes. You're doing a good job, Antonio. Adonia. Clara, right? You're doing a good job. The only way you're not doing a good job, as soon as I finish the sentence, Tracy, it's on you. I mute your mic. The only way you're not doing a good job is if you got a problem with what you're doing. If you're disgruntled, you're not doing a good job. If you're perfectly happy with where you are, you're doing a good job. Congratulations. If you're complaining, you're not doing a good job. Your soul does not like when you complain. Come on, Tracy.
All right.
In your stones for what I say, address them. to what I said, not what you heard. Go ahead.
No, I got a list of things I want to talk about. I want to ask some questions and okay.
Go
And
ahead.
I'll put myself out there. So I'm that one. I've never been married. It has always been a desire for me to be married. However, a couple of weeks ago on this call, you were talking about a preacher that you were saying you wanted to be like, right? And then he gave you all the things that he had gone through, and you were like, do you really want to be like that person, right?
Right.
So I figured out my issue that week because I've been for like at least the past 2-3 years, I've always been talking about, I want to be like Oprah. I want to be like Oprah. That's like the role model, right? And I'm thinking to myself, when you said that, I'm like, if I want to be like Oprah, Oprah's
Who
never
is
been
not
married.
married.
And she's got her segment, right? But she's never been married. So I've been that whole, okay, you want to be married, but you want to be like Oprah. Pick one. What is it? Do you really want to be like Oprah, or do you really want to be married? Because I've literally been speaking against whatever. So I ain't got either one. Okay.
That's
To
right.
me, that's that double
That's
edge.
how it works. That's how it works.
And so I realized that was like a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, you know what? Do I need to stop saying I want to be like Oprah, or do I need to stop saying I want to actually be married? So I'm still trying to figure that one out. Okay. So, but when y'all were just talking.
Okay, pause. Don't forget what you're going to say. Let me just address this real quick. Oprah is perfectly fine not being married because Oprah doesn't believe in marriage. She believes in companionship. She's at peace with that. So if you want to be like Oprah, then you need to believe in companionship that then leads to marriage, should it do.
Right.
Just not the traditional constitutional 8th Bill of Rights view. I mean, Article 1.8 or whatever it is of marriage.
Why do you know that? First of all,
I remember everything I see. Right. So just don't do that. So be like Oprah, because you clearly have a affinity to this, but appreciate companionship. And when you do that, you might find your companion been in your life the whole time. You just had an idea of marriage. He or she may not have agreed with that idea. That's where your friction comes in. I wasn't just talking to her.
Exactly.
Keep on going. Keep on going. Keep the party going. Everybody else hold your question. She got the last comment, so we can get on time. We might go just flip it over. You keep going. We're going to go until you finish, but we're done after you.
Well, the other one just goes back
Don't rush.
Well, it kind of ties in what some of the other ladies were saying. Okay, I feel like one reason why I feel like relationships never really made it to that level was because I feel like I would give up on the relationship too quickly. Going back to what some people were saying, how, hey, and to each his own, right? Because this is how I used to be. You make one mistake, okay, I ain't got time for you. Bye-bye. But then like relationships take work. And people are going to make mistakes. And I had to learn that. And I'm like, I can't just jump out of a relationship the first mistake you make, because how do you get to a longer relationship if they can't make one mistake? That's like, I can't be
every perfect relationship sucks.
Exactly. So I feel like me personally, I was giving up on the relationship too quickly. However, on the other side, it's the staying in a relationship too long when it's a toxic relationship. It's like, how do you know when to go, and how do you know, okay, stay and give that person another chance? Because
okay, let me jump in there. It's a wrong mindset, period. Napoleon Hill has a whole chapter about this, sex transmutation, the whole love chapter. It's that, how do you know when to go? How do you know when to stay? That's the bad thought process. It doesn't work. Here's your answer, Trinace, and y'all not gonna like this. All of you who are hurt are not gonna like what I'm going to say. Jump all in every time. Successful, wealthy people understand one thing about love and sex. It's fleeting. It doesn't come just once. That's Hollywood. That's TV. Love comes all the time. Those who dominate their existences, have their dreams, never get bitter when love leaves. This is right out of Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. Those who do get bitter go to the road of poverty. So Tracy, if you want to be on prosperity's road, jump all in and just love for what it is. Y'all are so freaking crazy. Y'all say God is love and hate it. Makes no sense. God is love until you're in a relationship. It makes no sense. Tracy, pick back up. Everybody listen to me. I know you don't like it because it goes against the grain, but I'm planting seeds. I don't expect you to like agree with me. I expect for God to supply the increase. Ain't that right, Jerome? That's all. I just expect that to happen. Love, Tracy, jump all in every time. Every time. If you do that, that's a vibration. Love makes lucky people. Money and breakthroughs always find lucky people. I'll say it again, richest man in Babylon. There is a thing called luck. Some people just have it, and they're all masters at self-love and other self-love. If you have not mastered love, you're never going to be lucky. Keep going, Tracy. That was way up here. Phil, we 12 weeks away from that understanding I just gave them. We ain't even went to Urantia yet. So that was way up there. But keep going, though. Go ahead, Phil.
No, that was pretty much it.
Well,
You
it's
said-
not,
Go ahead.
first of all, it's not 50-50. It's 100%, 100%.
Yeah.
And then the best book on this subject is called Getting the Love You Want.
Right.
Written by a pastoral psychologist, gets his doctorate degree in marriage counseling and finds himself going through a divorce. Because I failed as a preacher, I failed as a counselor, I failed as a husband. Then he wrote this book. And one of the tenets of the book is you subconsciously marry the person you feel will heal your childhood wounds.
Ooh. Ooh, I've heard him say that before. That's the first time I heard the last part, though. That's the first time I heard the last part. Church face, Grace. You subconsciously marry the person you feel will heal your childhood wounds.
And you so right about that.
You ain't lying. That hit hard.
Your partner will make you face all that trauma and heal it real soon, unless you want to get divorced.
All of it. Your partner will make you face your childhood trauma. All right, Tracy, unmute your mic. And then unmute your mic. And then say a few last comments and close us out and stuff, whatever you.
I don't have anything to say after that last comment that Mr. Phil made.
I know, right? That was a
true.
Mic drop for sure. All right, we out of here in a couple of minutes. Let's end this with two things, most notably in this particular class. Love, since it just came up and it came up strong. And this idea, tap dance, know your triggers. And this idea that your programming, Antonio, doesn't support your telos, your end. So let's work backwards. If you want to be successful, you have to love. And let me explain. I tried to tell Trinace this. She didn't listen. I tried to tell Chef Jay this. I didn't have enough time. I tried to tell Deanna this. She didn't listen. I tried to tell Grace this. She ain't listen. Hear me well. Life is a triangle, okay? And the Wachowskis wrote about this in 4 movies called The Matrix. You need wisdom, will, and love. You have to have all 3. If you want to manifest things, whiteboard cometh. These are closing thoughts. If you want to manifest things, you have no choice. You need a triangle. Why? Because every single thing about manifesting anything is a spiritual thing. Does anybody disagree with that? That manifestation is a spiritual thing? Okay, give me. I'm on the clock. I'm closing out. Please, I'm rushing to a close, Chef Jay. Listen to me. Every single thing on this planet that is metaphysical, that is spiritual, comes in what you call the great triune. God, Father, Son. God, Holy Spirit, Son. There you go. Mind, body, soul, subconscious, conscious, superconscious. Every single thing that involves Tracy and Trinace and spirituality, Trinace and God always comes in threes. But then, Melissa, on the physical plane, it's always a duality. Up, down, left, right, A, B, select, start, sorry. Up, down, left, right, and the greatest duality of them all, the womb and the chalice, male, female. So whenever you're trying to manifest something, it is always a triune. Whenever you receive that thing or whatever's blocking you from manifesting something, it's always a duality. So let me show you this thing. This is just a law that's never going to change. So what all of you need, whether you like it or not, wisdom, you find wisdom in Morpheus. Then you get will, you find will in Neo. And then you get love, and you find love in Trinity. And how does every single Matrix movie start off Trinity? Sleep. Because the thing that saves the world is sleep. How does every Matrix movie, how does Will, my bad, I did that wrong. How does Will start off in every Matrix movie? Sleep. Every movie, Neo starts off sleep and unaware. How does Trinity start off every movie? Sleep. In danger. Why? Because in this particular world, in this time, in this age of Aquarius, Phil, love is under extreme duress. And the only people who can combine will and love together is wisdom. Jerome, there's a difference between knowledge and wisdom. Knowledge is something you know. Wisdom comes from God. Knowledge comes from learning. Wisdom comes from failing. In order for you all to manifest, if you're saying, I ain't got time for love, you're killing your manifestations. So if you're not going to love some woman, some man, then you have to love you. But you got to be careful about this love, Antonio, because if your law of attraction is violent, if your love is violent, so is your manifestations. How do you know if your love is violent? I just got to take care of me. I got to protect me. And so guess what the universe goes? Great. Here's more things, more reasons to protect yourself. Here's somebody causing you to protect yourself. It's that simple. That's the love part. Did I help somebody today? Okay, that's the love part. All right, there we go. Go ahead, Phil, please.
Real quick, for those of you who haven't read, I'm halfway through chapter 16 and I've gone through 2 highlighters.
Okay, yeah, because I'm on like chapter 3 or 4, and I'm like, good Lord, I'm highlighting almost every paragraph. But yeah.
We will be in the book next week for sure. For sure. This is the first official day for sure. So I'm concerned. Your subconscious. Talisha, here's a wonderful thing. If you are, how many of you are jacked up? By show of hands, I need you really real deal jacked up. Good. You have the greatest opportunity to do work. If you are jacked up, that's a polarity. And work is what you call manifestation. And the more jacked up you are, the closer you are to not being jacked up. Think about it from an electrical engineering standpoint. Electricity can do work in a positive, it can do work in a negative, but it cannot do work negative, neutral, I mean. It cannot do work neutral. If electricity has a neutral charge, it ain't electricity. If it's negative, if it's positive, Adonia is driving right now the negative charge of her battery, and the positive charge of her battery is operating her blinkers. Since she's got a fancy car fully loaded, it's operating the DVD to pop out and the seats in the back for the kids that she pick up, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know, she's got the feet massager while she's driving and all that stuff like that. I just speak these things into existence. You understand? Speak these things into existence. I'm ending it. I just need you to get that you have to retrain your subconscious, but don't try. You can try later. What you need to master, Antonio, is one thing and one thing only: recognizing where you struggle. That's your challenge into next week. I want you to think about the area in which you struggle. And then I want you to say to yourself, I don't have a program that supports what I'm trying to accomplish here. There's something in my mind, my mother, my father, my view on relationship, my view on marriage, my view on my husband, what he did to me, what she did to me. Something is stopping you from starting that business. Something is stopping you from blah, 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 blah. Your challenge this way, please. Everybody's going to write down a list and you're going to bring it back. And then we're going to go in Pathbender. Everybody come. If you don't have your list, it's okay. I'm not going to be like a Nazi about it, but do the exercise. Just be on time. We're going to bend the path of all your struggles. So this week, I want you to write down every secret place that I'm not supposed to know about, that nobody knows about, where you struggle, and write that down. And then what you're going to do is you're going to think all week, what programming is stopping you or causing that struggle. That's our challenge. That's been the end of this call. Next week we will be in Pathbender. You'll know which chapter. Actually, chapter 2. We'll start off in chapter 2. To be honest with you, we'll start off in chapter 2. You can plan better. You can dominate. Love you, everybody.
Love you more.
Love you more.
All right. Y'all have a good one.